Hello everyone, welcome you all to this new video. So in my previous videos, we had discussed with the two important amplifier circuits along with their voltage gains and input and output impedances. And we have seen one relation that in the first kind of amplifier, that is VCBS amplifier, we was having the concept of harmonic distortion, right? So we have in the previous video also have discussed. Once again, I'll tell you guys that is harmonic distortion is only present in VCVS amplifiers only because in the output and input sides both we are having voltages, right? But for all other amplifiers we are having somewhere current in the picture, so that's why the harmonic distortion won't be capable for calculating through currents because we are only focusing on voltage gains there. Okay, so that's why harmonic distortions won't be coming into the picture with respect to the other amplifiers. Also in my previous video we had discussed with the concept of ICVS amplifier, that is current controlled voltage gain amplifier. In that input is current and output is voltage, and in that we are having the zero input impedance and zero output impedance. That is, we are not having any input impedance and output impedance values in that circuit, right? We were having only one feedback resistance and no input and output resistances here. So that's why that is also called as the perfect current to voltage converter. Okay, so that I've discussed in the previous video. Those are what didn't watch it, please go and watch it. In this video we are discussing with one more kind of negative feedback amplifier, that is the VCIS amplifier. Okay, so this is also called as a transconductance amplifier, and based on that we are having some of the relationship, that is how the output currents are identified. Then with respect to that, one standard value with respect to transconductance, how it is initialized, then some of the input and output impedances of the VCIS amplifier. Everything in this video we are going to be discussing, starting with the basic definition of this VCIS amplifier. So let us see that now. Again, those who have not watched all of my previous videos, please go and watch it. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Okay. Yeah. So let us start now. With the VCIS amplifier, an input voltage controls an output current. Okay. So this is the basic funda of a VCIS amplifier. That is, an input voltage would be acting as a control source for an output current. Okay, because of the heavy negative feedback in this kind of amplifier, the input voltage is converted to a precise value of the output current. Okay, so this below figure shows the basic construction of a VCIS amplifier here. Okay, so if you see here, this is the basic VCIS amplifier. Again, this is fed in the negative feedback path. So in the inverting terminal, this is a non-inverting amplifier. So that's why from the inverting terminal, the feedback is fed. Okay, so this is the RL feedback, and this is the input impedance R1. With respect to that, the current is generated at the output end. Okay, not voltage. We are having the current at the output side. Okay, so from voltage, it is getting converted to current by using the uh, non-inverting amplifier, and at the non-inverting terminal we are using the input voltage V in. Okay, so with respect to this, it is also called as a transconductance amplifier. Okay, it is similar to a VCVS amplifier only, except that RL, the load resistor, as well as the feedback resistor. Okay, so this load resistor here would be acting as the feedback resistor in this case. Okay, in other words, the active output is not the voltage across R1 plus RL, rather it is the current through RL. Okay, so here the output is not voltage across. Instead of voltage across, we are using the word called as current. Okay, we are not having any voltage here. Instead of voltage, it is current, because the name itself suggests it is a voltage controlled current source. So that's why voltage would be converted to current. Yeah, this output current is stabilized, that is, a specific value of input voltage produces a precise value of output current. Okay, so in this below figure, the exact equation for output current with respect to the voltage divider condition would be given as something like this, that is, I out is equal to V in, that is the input voltage, divided by R, because we know that initially the from the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R, right? So with respect to that, you need to be writing the equation for I out. That is, I out is equal to the voltage here is V in divided by, at this side, how the outputs are divided. That is plus R1 plus RL. Okay, R1 plus the combination of these two resistors, R1 plus RL, divided by the open loop voltage gain AVOL. Okay, so this is the basic equation for output current which is generated through this VCIS amplifier. Okay, so this is the equation, guys. Please note it down. Now, practically, in a practical circuit, the second term in the denominator is much smaller than the first term. So, and the equation would be simplified like this. So, you see here, the second term is R1 plus RL divided by the AVOL. Okay. Practically, if you try to analyze, the second term is much smaller than the first. Why? Because initially the input impedance value would be very high, right? So that's why when we are having the high input impedance and this term with respect to this value of load resistance would be very low because of the AVOL used here. So you see here R1 plus RL divided by AVOL. Why this first term is high? Because initially the open loop voltage gain would be in terms of 1 mega, right? So that's why R1 is high. We know that R1 is high. But in the second term, R1 plus RL, the whole divided by 1 lakh, right? So that's why this second term would be minimized. Okay, that would be in terms of milli, right? In terms of 0.00 something. So it is very low if it gets divided by this value. So that's why this term would be getting neglected in practical format. So that's why it would be initially equal to V in divided by R1. Because this term would be getting cancelled out, we would be left with only V in by R1. Okay, so this is the practically and ideally the output currents for this VCIS amplifier. Okay, so this is sometimes given in terms of transconductance, that is I out is equal to GM into V in. Okay, so this is very important. So now if we substitute this, we would be getting the transconductance GM is equal to 1 divided by R1, because we know that I out is equal to V in by R1. So that if you substitute it here, we would be getting GM is equal to V in by R1 into V in. So V in gets cancelled. So GM is equal to 1 divided by R1. That is the conductance or the transconductance. So for the transconductance, VCIS amplifier is 1 by R1 and the output current is V in by R1 practically, and ideally when we are having the open loop voltage gain, it is V in divided by R1 plus R1 whole divided by open loop voltage gain. Okay, so these were the parameters of transconductance and currents. Now let's get to the input and output impedance of this amplifier. Input impedance is given by Z in is equal to 1 plus AVOL into beta into R in, and for Z out it is given by 1 plus AVOL into R1. Okay, for the stabilized outputs, these are the input and output impedances. Okay, where the input impedance is high, output impedance is low for a VCIS amplifier. Okay, so you please note these two down, this is very important. So these are the things which I wanted to discuss for a VCIS amplifier. Next we are having with one important amplifier which is left out, that is ICIS amplifier. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the next video. So that's all for this video, guys. Please watch all of our previous videos, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you.